Hello and welcome back to Bits and Bobs. Now this week I've been to the antique shop and bought some lovely coins, mainly shillings. I've bought a lot of lovely sterling silver shillings this week and I'll show you those. And I've also bought a few coins that aren't shillings but still very nice and I'll show you those as well. So let's jump into the coins I bought this week. So as usual I put the coins in this box and I'll have a sneak peek before we begin to look at them one by one. Ooh, right, there we go. So this week I've bought two coins that are not shillings. I'll have a look at them first and then move on to the shillings I bought this week. Starting with this small coin right here, which is a small silver threepence from 1896. Now you may remember from last week's video, I said that each week I go to the antique shop, I will buy at least one of these silver threepences to add to my tub of silver, to add to my silver stack. And so this week I've done that. These cost £1 each, so are a good deal for the silver, and actually, regardless of silver, it is a very nice coin. We can see here an 1800s and 1890s veiled head Victoria threepence, an old Victorian silver coin there for only £1 to add to my collection of silver coins for more bullion weight, for more the stacking side, as I do have this coin already in a better grade in my date run of silver threepences. So, without any further ado, we can now add this coin to my trough. I call it a trough because it's just a big, let's bring it in here, a big, well, yeah, like a big trough of silver coins here. I can add now the 1896 threepence into the stack collection kind of thing there, because I have them all in my date run, like I say. So that's the first non-shilling of the video. The second one is this. You may have got a glimpse of it in the sneak peek. Now this is a 1970 proof florin, and so that means it's time for the gloves. Now this coin was the only one of the bunch I've ordered online, got this online from eBay, and I just thought I'd show you this. I've cut it out to keep because this is my first ever King Charles III stamp. It came on this parcel here, a nice green second class Mackin Charles III stamp there with the Martin Jennings portrait, the new portrait left facing bust of the King, my first ever King Charles III stamp. But now, onto the coin. So let's remove it from this little pouch, and I've got the glove on now to protect it as it is. A proof coin from over 50 years ago. So here it is, a truly lovely coin. You can see here the standard design for Elizabeth II florins. Oh, lovely quality as well, obviously it's proof, never been touched or handled or circulated. This design is by Edgar Fuller and Cecil Thomas. You can see just there, EF and CT, the designer's initials. You can see great reflection here, amazing detail to this coin, and flipping it over very carefully, we can of course see the portrait there of Queen Elizabeth II. Now it's not perfectly proof, you will see a little bit of sort of markings there to the coin, but obviously I did pay this second hand on eBay for only £5, so I can't really complain. And I do have the entire proof set, the sort of full proof set from 1970, so I have all these coins in proper proof, completely untouched. So I bought a loose one here for my collection from 1970, as that now means if I slide in my date run tray of florins, you can see here, it is a completely full tray, absolutely full, every single one in there, starting with the 1933 to the top there, all the way down to just one missing. Here it is the 1970 florin, which is now of course acquired for just £5. So removing this, I can now add this lovely proof florin, a very standout coin compared to all the others. And then here it is, the full date run of florins from 1933, the earliest one in this tray. Of course I have older trays for older coins. From 1933, all the way from silver coins to copper and nickel, right up now into proof coins, as the 1970 has been added, completing this tray. Obviously there is a gap, but there's no more after 1970. Completing this tray now of my florin date run. So very cool and a good achievement to do. Well into the video, we haven't yet looked at any shillings. So let's bring in the shillings I've bought this week from the antique shop. We have 4 shillings here, and they're all in little nice sort of envelopes here. We'll go through them one by one, in no particular order. Starting with this one here. So you can see this is a 1 shilling coin from 1860. A great old date, and it has a little F there, so I believe it's in fine condition, and I did pay £5 for this coin. So let's have a look. And here it is. Now 1860 is an older and rarer date, with the mintage on screen there, so I would expect it for only £5 to be quite worn, but very luckily and very good, the date, 1860, is incredibly clear, and you can see very well what date this coin is from, 1860, with the Jean-Baptiste Merlin design of shilling there, crown above the words 1 shilling, with the wreath around, the wreath being the main worn part. And if we look over on the other side of the coin, we can see this is a young head Queen Victoria coin, the young head design of course by William Wyan, and then the legend around. The legend has been a bit worn to this side, but can still be read as Victoria di Grazia Britannia Reg FD. Now this is a new date for my date run, and after I've unboxed all the shillings, I'll add them all in to the date run, and we can see how far the date run has progressed. So there's the first one, a nice 1860. We'll then go for this one right here. Let's have a little look. So this one is another 1 shilling of course, a more modern one from 1882, but that one again was £5. It's another great coin for a fiver, What will it be? What will the condition be? So here it is. And again, quite a worn coin. You can, of course, see a lot of wear to this side. But for me, the most important part is the date being visible. 1882 can very clearly be seen. So I know this is a new date for my date run of 1882. We have again the same design with the wreath around the edge being less worn on this one, but the centre being more worn there. The 1 shilling being quite sort of worn away, especially on the 1 there. And then the crown to the top. This is again a young head Queen Victoria portrait we can see there, facing to the left, again with the legend, the same legend around the coin, identical on the obverse and almost identical on the reverse, apart from the date there of course being different, 1882, but still a new date for my date run. So 2 more shillings to go from the box, and I'll get this one out next. This one is, as we can see of course, 1 shilling there, and this one is from 1885, so a similar era to the other one. This one again cost me £5, and this one is the best of condition we can see here, not too badly worn. The wreath and the outside is quite detailed there still, with the Scots pine and the oak branches and oak leaves there to the right being very visible. The date there below, 1885 again, very visible indeed, and the word shilling fully intact with only the E really being worn of the words 1 shilling, and the crown, you can still see quite a lot of detail there to the top of the crown, and overall it is a great design I believe, and really one of my favourite designs from this era. So again we have the young head portrait here, and as I say, the best condition of the bunch. We can see Victoria's eyes, nose and mouth, ear, and sort of even a tiny bit of the ribbons in her hair, so you can see it's a bit better condition than the others, and again the same legend around, Victoria, by the grace of God, Queen of Britain, Defender of the Faith. So there we go, £15 gets 3 Victorian shillings, 3 new dates for my shilling date run, and some nice silver as well to add into my collection. So there we go, there's the 3 Victorian ones. Now you may have been able to make it out in the video, this one is older. Let's have a look at this coin next. So we can see this one is from 1825. So an older coin from the reign of, that's right, George IV. Again, 1 shilling and a G this time, so it's in good condition, as so labelled by the antique shop. Now this one cost a little bit more, £6 for this coin. So let's see, do you think it's worth it? And is it a good coin for my collection and my purchase? So here it is, a great coin with an earlier design. We can see here a crowned Lion of England, atop a crown there. This is the St Edward's crown to the bottom. Has been quite worn though, so a lot of the detail has been lost. And then the crown to the top there with the lion. You can still see all the details. You can even see the face of the lion. So not too incredibly worn. There's quite a lot of wear to this side of the legend, but you can still read it. Britanniarum Rex Fidei Defensor, so King of Britain, Defender of the Faith. One other detail for this coin we can see is the shamrock for Northern Ireland to the left. In the middle is the rose for England, and to the right, the thistle for Scotland. So there we go. Another great design, and we have some sort of good darkening here on the background, with the sort of raised parts, the design being a bit lighter, so it gives it a good contrast to the design. So this coin we can see is a George IV coin, as said, from 1825. Let's get this to focus and have a look. So there we go. So I think it's a really good coin. This is of course his second portrait of George IV, with the first portrait being my favourite picture on screen to compare for you there, and I think you'll agree the first portrait is the best. But nonetheless, this is a great portrait here, with a left-facing uncrowned bust of King George IV, the legend reading Georgivus IV, Di Gratia, George IV by the grace of God, and then the date there to the bottom, 1825. So overall, this is a great coin with edge milling still intact, and adds a nice 4th shilling to the shilling purchases from the antique shop of this week. Comment down below your favourite shilling, and we'll now add them to my date run, filling up even more dates for my shilling date run. Let's go. So here is the shilling date run tray, or the first tray. I have 2 trays. This one goes up to the year 1899. So all the coins are older than that, so they can go on this tray. So here's the tray so far. I'm going to now fill up the gaps that I filled with the purchases of this week. So we'll start with this one here. I believe this is the 1885. Yes, so this is the 1885. So we'll look for that now on the tray. There it is. We'll remove the piece of card and add in our 1885 shilling to the date run. Very cool. Next up we have this one to add in. This is the 1882, a great coin, and where will its home be? Let's have a little look on the tray. There we go. So again, removing the card and adding in the 1882 shilling to the shilling date run. Very nice. Halfway there now, filling up, we have this one, a great coin, potentially my favourite. This is a really nice date to have, 1860. So let's find that one on the tray. Here it is. Very excitingly, the only row I have no coins for. You can see now, 1860 on that row. I can finally fill a coin in each row of this tray, a cool achievement to do as part of completing the date run. So there we go, 1860 is now in. Then the final coin, the lovely 1825 George IV shilling, is then right up here. Hang on a moment. So what's happened here is that when I've bought this coin, this is an 1825 George IV shilling that I already had. When I bought this, though, I must have forgot to add it to my list on my phone of dates I needed. So when I was in the antique shop and looking through the coins they had there, I saw I needed 1825, but apparently I didn't. So I've now ended up with two 1825s. Not the worst problem to happen, of course. So this left one is better condition. This one is a bit shined up and a bit damaged. You can see it's a bit scratched, potentially a bit shined. This one isn't damaged or shined, but it is in worse condition. So I'll put this one back in for now, but please do comment down below which of these two shillings should be the one to go into my date run, and which one will sadly just go into that big tub I showed you at the start of all the sort of doubles. I didn't mean to buy a double of this coin, but as I say, not the worst problem to have two of these lovely Georgian shillings in my collection rather than one. That would just mean in the future I'm more vigilant to update the shilling date run, and I must remember to add on to the 1860, 1882 and 1885 to my notes on my phone to make sure I don't buy them again, and I want to fill up the dates I don't have rather than the ones I do. So there we go. Please do comment down below your favourite coin I bought this week. Is it the proof florin, any of these shillings, or the threepence? Now for me, especially because this is a double, I'm going to say the 1860 shilling is my favourite from this week's purchases. So there we go. Of course, thank you for watching, and comment down below your favourite coin that I've bought this week. Please do leave a like, please do subscribe, and we'll see you again soon for some more coins in the future on Bits and Bobs. Bye.